Hi, I'm William Milbury, a foreigner living in Japan, and this is my ongoing series of videos about the Fukushima nuclear crisis in northeast Japan. And this is a Geiger counter. This is also a Geiger counter. Geiger counters are the most common device for detecting ionizing radiation. Ionizing radiation is the harmful stuff. It's named after a scientist, Hans Geiger, who actually developed the fundamental mechanism by which they work way back in 1908. A Geiger counter has a tube filled with a low-pressure gas, either inside it or in a wand that you can move around. This tube is charged, and a little rod through the center of it is also charged. When radiation passes through the tube, it knocks an electron off of the gas. This creates a small charge which cascades as it's attracted to the charged tube. The result is the tube puts out a little pulse. This small pulse can be picked up by very basic electronics and sent to a speaker where you hear it as a tick. It can be sent to a needle and displayed on a gauge, or it can be sent to a digital circuit which counts the number of pulses per second and calculates a unit such as microsieverts or millirem from it. So Geiger counters are very simple electronically. They're not high-tech advanced devices at all. But they're typically pretty expensive because they're specialty, low-volume products that companies don't sell much of. That was the case until the Fukushima nuclear accident. Recently, people all over the world have been buying lots of Geiger counters. Many stores are sold out, and many models are back-ordered for months and months. Also, due to the run on them, the price has gone up quite a bit. One of the reasons that people have been buying Geiger counters is because the news coming from Fukushima is really, number one, it's very bad news, and number two, there's not enough of it. People don't have a good sense of their safety. They don't have a good sense of what's going on. Now, a Geiger counter outside of Japan probably won't detect anything anymore. Maybe back in March and April when the initial explosions, the initial strong releases came, you might have been able to pick up a little something in America. But the story is very different in Japan. In Japan, many people have bought Geiger counters, and they have recorded their Geiger counters and uploaded the videos to YouTube. And what they've found is really disturbing. These videos made by Japanese people are naturally in the Japanese language with Japanese titles and descriptions. This makes them inaccessible to English speakers. They're also done by everyday people, and for that reason, I don't really believe it's been reported in the mainstream media. What I did is I searched YouTube for Hosha no Rosokute, Hosha no Sokute, and Hosha sen Sokute, which are just variations in saying radiation level measurement in Japanese. I found a number of these videos, and from the descriptions, I tried to ascertain the locations, and I put place markers in Google Earth. I then saved a file from Google Earth, which can be loaded into Google Maps, and I basically created a map where you can click on the icons, and it has a link to a YouTube video, and you can see the things that people in Japan, both Japanese as well as foreigners living here, have been finding with their Geiger counters. The results are extraordinarily disconcerting. Please have a look. Okay, I'll provide the link to both the Google Earth KMZ file as well as a link where you can view this in Google Maps, both in the information section of this video as well as hard-coded onto the video. Now, as I mentioned, I searched YouTube for videos of Japanese people as well as some foreigners living here with Geiger counters and the videos they made. I read the descriptions, I translated the Japanese characters into English and put that in the description. I also included the maximum radiation reading that I noticed when watching the video in here. So you can either click on a location here or a place over here. So let me show you a sampling of them. We'll start here. And of course you can zoom in. If only a town was given, I typically put the place marker where Google Earth said that the town was. So I click on this place and you can see there's YouTube links here. So if I click on one of those and open it up, it takes you to a YouTube video. Now you can see this is a person putting a Geiger counter by their rain spout, and the thing goes absolutely off the hook. Let me fast forward a little bit. So it gets up to 20 microsieverts per hour and just keeps going. Now if we look at the upload date of this is April 17th. So some of this radiation might be gone by now. It might have been iodine, which has a short half-life. Okay, let's take a look at this one listed as Kamakura City in Kanagawa Prefecture. So if I zoom out, we can see this one is a little bit further south. And if we open it up, so we can see this particular user put some additional information on the video about the measurement they were doing. And you can see just incredible levels of radiation. Here we're at 8.7 microsieverts per hour. I'm not going to show you the videos in their entirety because I provide the links and you can go take a look at the videos. You can also look at the related videos, and of course you can leave comments in the people's channels, especially if you can read Japanese. So let me continue a little bit here, because there was another one that I thought was very interesting. This particular video was taken in front of a Denny's restaurant. When I searched Google Earth, I could only find one Denny's restaurant in the area. So I was able to map it with pretty good accuracy. And we'll take a peek at this one. Now these are different people with different Geiger counters. But one thing is unmistakable, and that's that they are all detecting high levels of radiation in neighborhoods that otherwise look normal. So in the middle here, the person puts the Geiger counter down on the ground, and after a few seconds, you'll see what happens. The level of radiation in the ground passes the Geiger counter's alarm threshold, and the alarm starts to go off. And that actually happens in quite a number of these videos. Now I would like to sample just two more here. Okay, this one is taken from Fukushima City, I believe an area known as Watari. So let me zoom out so you can get a sense of this. Okay, so if we look at the legend, 50 kilometers, this is about 60 kilometers from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. So we see that the person who produced this put an informative screen in the front. This particular video was uploaded on June 8th, so it's a little bit more recent than some of the others. So this is something that we commonly see in the videos as well. Storm drains really set off Geiger counters. So it seems as if the nuclear fallout fell across Japan, and then as it rained afterwards, the rain washed it into places such as sewers and gutters and different places. Last but not least, I'd like to show you a video done by a Westerner living in Kashiwa, which is not too far from central Tokyo. This user's name is A Superdry, and he has a Geiger counter, and he has several videos demonstrating the radiation levels of the area. So like the other videos, he shows the scene. You can see it's a normal place on the street. And you can see just sitting on the dirt, 4 microsieverts and rising. Now I'd like to encourage you to check out A Superdry's channel. He's currently doing some work with testing. He has sent soil samples in for analysis at a lab with his own money to try and find out what is the real situation there, once again because of a lack of information. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. This map is by no means complete, but it's a sampling of a number of videos that I thought were that clearly demonstrated what is happening. You can see there's different models of Geiger counters and different people in different locations, but one thing is clear: the levels of radiation are really unacceptable and really widespread. And there's one final thing I would like to show you. This triangle, which I put near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, has a link to a video that was made before the authorities started enforcing not letting people into the exclusion zone. This is a Japanese reporter, and he drives very close to the Fukushima nuclear power plant. So this is maybe 1 to 2 kilometers away, and you can just see the incredible amount of radiation. Here, this is 100 microsieverts per hour. And I would like to make a correction or a modification to something I said earlier. I said that mainstream media wasn't really reporting the stuff that users were doing, but I was directed to this MSNBC Worldblog entry, which I'll provide the URL for, which is a pretty long article about Japan's citizen scientists map radiation, DIY style. And it's talking about a grassroots movement where people have actually built their own GPS and Geiger devices, and they go on drives and measure radiation, and from there they create maps which are uploaded to this Safecast website. The videos I've shown you were not done by scientists or experts, and they weren't using professional, highly calibrated equipment. But nonetheless, I think these videos are extremely telling. Is it possible that some of their readings are wrong? Yes. Is it possible that some of them have even been faked? Well, that's a possibility. Getting your hands on enough radioactive material to trigger a Geiger counter as much as some of those were triggered seems like it'd be quite difficult, and I really don't suspect that many people would fake videos. I think what we're seeing here is the truth, and I think it's a very good indication of the true nature of the situation and the true nature of what Japan and the world is dealing with. I'll be back in the future with more videos and information about this. Thank you for watching.